Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So unfortunately I did not get the invite to go see the new 2024 Toyota Tacoma unveil out in Hawaii. I guess I haven't bought enough Toyotas yet. But I do have a number of photos here. I'm going to go through them. I'm going to talk through a number of the trims. We've got the Limited, the TRD Pro, Trailhunter, as well as the Sport. So I'm going to go through each of the trims here and kind of talk through what I like most about it, what I don't like, and kind of really get your opinions on it as I go through it. So I'll throw up the photos of them as I talk through them. So I'll start with perhaps my least favorite, if I'm being honest, and that is the Limited. Personally, I just have never been a fan of chrome on trucks or any kind of vehicle for that matter. And this, unfortunately, has an abundance of it, whether it's the front bumper, the door handles, the wheels, exhaust tip, blah, blah, blah. There's plenty of it. But on the inside, it does look pretty exceptional. So very similar to the 2022 and up Tundra, as well as the 23 and up Sequoia. You get that large infotainment, the 14-inch display there, full leather interior, as you'd imagine, a full digital display for your gauge cluster, fully digital display there, which is awesome. I assume it's going to be the same one that we find in the Sequoia and the Tundra, and it really is exceptional. Very, very fast. I noticed it did have a high push to start button. So that's kind of a unique thing that I had pointed out as I was looking at it. Lots of chrome accents, we talked through that. And I noticed a very, very low front end shroud that, not a lot to love about that, especially if you intend to off-road your vehicle at all. You're not going to love that. So those are pretty quick to go sometimes. Let's talk about what I think is the most important one. And that is the TRD Pro. The TRD Pro looks incredible. And I hate saying it because you guys know I told you I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to try to stay true to that at least for the next couple of years. I'm going to let them iron out the bugs that they're going to have. They're going to have, it's inevitable, right? Any new platform, anything is going to have some bugs to work out, and we're going to see that for sure. But I tell you what, I think Toyota knocked it out of the park with the design. It does look absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see it in person. Get the wide fender flares, which I think are just a huge staple of the vehicle. It does have a inline four-cylinder turbo hybrid power plant, so it's sporting an I-Force Max, the TRD Pro. But again, no longer 6-cylinder, and I think that's going to be kind of the rub for a lot of people, right? Because even though the previous Gen 3 Tacoma didn't have the most thrilling power plant, at least you always know it was super reliable, right? It always had that going for it. Extremely reliable, it was going to work for you. But I bet this new Tacoma is going to be a thrill to drive by comparison. The lackluster automatic transmission that we found in the previous generation always kind of left people hanging and wanting more, unfortunately. So forcing people to do a retune or a re-gearing of their vehicle. So I'm excited to see how it drives. I'm sure it's going to be a kick in the pants to get behind the wheel. So I'm excited for that part. But the wide fender flares are the staple of it. The 4-cylinder I-Force Max power plant is going to be great. I especially love the wheels. I don't know. So I have a couple photos here I'm going to share on the screen. I don't know. I want to get a closer look at them. I'm excited to see it because it does look pretty incredible. I think they're the best looking wheel that they have ever put on a Tacoma TRD Pro. I think they are doing a good job at progressing in that field too, just continuously getting better. The black roof is unique, right? So you get the whole black roof with a little bit of a lip spoiler out back, which looks pretty unique. I wouldn't have expected to see that on the Tacoma, but it does look good. Black mirror caps, a front light bar, like you find in the Sequoia and the Tundra TRD Pro. We now get a kind of a smaller integrated front light bar in that front grille. It does have a smaller black hood scoop, which kind of begs the question if it will be a functional hood scoop at this point, right? So a little bit of a smaller black on top. It looks pretty awesome, especially with the white, the classic Stormtrooper look. And I love the fact that that's the photo that they're kind of throwing around here and really showcasing right out of the gate is that Stormtrooper look Tacoma TRD Pro. That's where it started for me, my 2017 Tacoma TRD Pro. That Stormtrooper look. It was super white and it looks just like it. Digital camo. So we've got some digital camo up front as well. I assume in the rear. I assume they're going to match what they did with the Tundra. I'm not 100% confident, but I can kind of see from the photos, at least on the front, it appears to be lifted over the Limited and the Sport. I imagine the Trailhunter has the same suspension system. That's a guess. I'm just kind of presuming that. And they'll likely do a Fox TRD Tune variant, right? Because that has been a part of the pedigree for a long time, the longest time. So I expect to see that. It's probably an inch or two higher with lifted over the other trims, of course. So likely going to have a TRD upper control arm as well, just a lot more robust components that we would expect on the TRD Pro platform. Let's talk about the Trailhunter, okay? The Trailhunter, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. I have a feeling as soon as I see it in the flesh, I'm going to fall in love with it. It has that flat bronze color with the bronze wheels, and the photos that I've received anyway they're decked out. They got a ton of accessories on them, ton of aftermarket modifications and things that you can really customize to make it your own and unique. So I love that about this Trailhunter. It's unique that it has a snorkel, right? So it has a snorkel right out of the factory, and it's really built to hit the trails right out of the gate. But it kind of begs the question, I mean, like, is it a needed trim over the TRD Pro? And kind of where does that put the TRD Pro by comparison, right? So, I mean, they're kind of segmented trim levels, but it's almost too close of a trim to TRD Pro. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are on that in particular. Wide fender flares, just like we find on that TRD Pro. The ones I'm looking at here look a little bit more flat black, whereas the TRD Pro is more of a gloss black. But yeah, overall, I think it's going to be very exciting to get that. Of course, we have the front bash plates, skid plates, things that we've grown used to and grown to expect over the years from the TRD Pro lineup anyway. So we expect that on the Trailhunter as well. And lastly, let's breeze right through the Sport, the TRD Sport. A lot of unique aspects to this one, right? So on the interior shots, we have some blue accents, which is pretty cool. It's kind of nice to see that. I imagine you can opt to change that or not get that as an option. But I'm looking here at the blue Sport, and it has a blue trim line on the interior. So I expect that to be an option. I expect you should be able to keep it black. Just a guess, though. I'm seeing that manual transmission, which is a glorious thing that Toyota did that. So props to Toyota for still offering that third pedal with that clutch there. Being able to have that manual transmission. That's becoming such a dying breed. You just do not see that anymore. To manufacturers' defense, people aren't buying them, right? They don't sell as well, and by a long shot. I mean, it's a dying craft as well. I mean, people just don't know how to drive manual for the most part these days. But being a car enthusiast, automotive enthusiast myself, I love the fact that they still offer that. So that is cool. It appears to be cloth in the version I'm looking at here. That's my guess anyway, with the two-tone black and gray. It does have a kind of a unique grab handle right there in the center for your passenger, which is really cool. So being able to off-road, I assume that's going to be the case across the board for the other trims as well. As you see there in the center, the infotainment section, it does appear to have very simplistic controls, which is a huge plus in my book. Personally, I do think that's almost a staple for Toyota at this point, is having the simplistic controls for climate, fan speed, temperature, radio knob. Very easy to use, easy to navigate without you having to pull over and try to figure it out or bust out the owner's manual. So a huge plus, at least seemingly, looking at these photos. The wheels on a Sport, meh. I don't care for that, but you guys may let me know what your thoughts are. No wide fender flares either, so it appears to have a very sleek design to it. And again, a lot of people may actually prefer that. Some people don't like the whole flashiness of a vehicle or a truck, and they just want to get a mid-sized truck and have it be sleek. So this is good. It's good that it's an option to not have the giant fender flares on your Tacoma. And I do see, lastly, a dark chrome exhaust tip. So perhaps sporting the TRD catback exhaust on this particular example there. So there you have it, guys. I just kind of want to voice my thoughts and walk through each of these photos with you, as today is the official release of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma. I'm very excited to see it in the flesh. And, well, as of right now, I'm going to try not to buy it. I love seeing you guys' comments. You don't believe that for a second, and you have every right to feel that way at this point. So I'm gonna try to hold firm. I'm gonna try to stick with the older gen. If I were to get another Tacoma, just because it's tried and true and trusty at this point. You don't have to worry about bugs and kinks. So there you have it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma. Let me know which trim you would want to pursue and why. Appreciate you watching as always. Until next time.